All right, what's up, guys? Welcome to the LTD podcast. I know this is a familiar setup, but this is the LTD podcast, not the Tony and Dakota podcast. I'm Christian. I work at LTD, obviously. And here are the wonderful two guests that we have. You guys can introduce yourself.
Yo, what up, guys? Andrew Etchison, LTD Property Group, do acquisitions for the company. And then also, probably by the time this podcast comes out, be about at 27 rental properties. And just do sales for the company. Been here for about 3 years, almost 4.
Dang.
Yep. My name is JJ Vandeveer. I've been with LTD for just over a year. It was a year in October. And just do sales and acquisitions.
Yes, sir. Okay. So you guys have very interesting stories when you first started. We're going to start with Andrew first, and then I'll go to you. So Andrew, just tell me about how you started at LTD, what you had to do in order to work here, and the whole process through that.
You want me to give like a story or like just like
Say how you want it.
Okay. So basically was in high school, learning about real estate when I was 17 years old, learned about it for about a year, and then went up to PSI seminar, Personal Success Institute seminar. That's where I met Tony and Dakota. Worked with them for was watching them for about a year and a half probably, and then really liked what they were posting on Facebook, really looked up to Dakota and them, and just wanted to eventually like get into buying and like wholesaling properties and flipping them. And then I went to that, was working at a previous job, and basically Dakota called me, and it was out of the blue, and he was like, hey, you should come work with us. Saw you at Sci, like we want to give you a shot. And then long story short, quit my job next day and came up here. And then from there, got started with them in high school still. So it's been good.
Yes, sir. So you kind of started out as a little bit as like a fanboy a little bit.
Yeah, I was definitely a fanboy. Before I even started, I was like, I already thought they were millionaires, which they weren't at that time yet. And then like I thought they were like famous and all that other stuff. So I was like, dude, these guys are freaking crushing it.
Yeah.
And I want to be around them or like learn like what they're doing. So yeah.
Yes, sir. All right, JJ.
Yep.
I think you got a pretty fun story too. So let's hear it.
I do have a kind of a fun, interesting story. So ever since I was like a little bit younger, probably like 16, 17, I always wanted to get into real estate. So I started kind of like looking into like wholesaling. And that was when it really started kind of like getting popular on YouTube and stuff like that. And everybody was kind of starting to hear about it. So just really wanted to get into real estate. So I was just kind of doing that on the side. And then I started working a construction job. And I did that from probably 18. I started off welding straight out of high school. And then I went into like doing all types of different construction jobs. Learned a lot, which was super helpful and useful. But then I was like, okay, I really need to get into something that's like has to do with real estate, because that's really like my real passion was. So I started doing different real estate. So I started getting into a little bit of real estate. I did a flip, and then I started doing a little bit of like wholesaling. I did 2 wholesale deals, and that was when I was starting to watch like Tony and Dakota as well, because they were like doing a bunch of stuff on Facebook, and I was like, dang, these guys are like legit. They're like doing a lot of stuff. So I was following them a lot, and just thought it was really interesting, super cool. So I started doing my own little stuff to get a real estate deal, and I ended up finally getting one, but I didn't know exactly how to like close it and get that whole process finished and started. So I actually called Dakota. He walked me through the whole thing, told me exactly what I needed to do. That was how I got my first deal. And then once I got my first deal, I was like, okay, this is like real. Like I can actually do something with this. So I started running like some different ads and stuff like that to actually start doing real estate. And I got another deal, and I didn't know how, like my sales skills were terrible. I had no idea how to like talk to people or anything like that. So I called up Andrewski, and he actually ended up helping me negotiate that one. He negotiated it down like another like 15 grand from where I had it, which I thought was insane. And when I heard him on the phone, I was like, wow, like this guy really knows what he's doing. Like these guys are like legit. So
We got it for like $3 grand too.
Yeah, I think we got it for it was like I think it was like
$5 or $6 grand.
Yeah, something like that. And then I had him at like 20 or something like that, and I thought it was a steal of a deal, but yeah. So that was really interesting. But I ended up hanging out with Andrew a little bit more, and then he was like, dude, you should come over, work at LTD. And then, yeah, I was at my old construction job, and I was telling everybody that I was working with, I was like, dude, I'm about to go get this other job doing like real estate. It's going to be like crazy. Just be around some good people. And then word got to my boss, and then I came in one day, and he was like, hey man, we're going to have to let you go. And I was like, oh my gosh, like what the heck?
Dang.
So yeah, then as soon as I left, it was like 8 a.m. As soon as I left, I Snapchatted Andrew, and I was like, hey dude, like I just got fired. Like, is there any way you can get me like in or like something? And I literally came in, I want to say like an hour after that, sat down with Andrew and Dakota, and then yeah, got hired that day. And that was October of last year. Yep.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, your guys' stories are like the way you started working here. You could just tell you guys would be good at sales, just like how persistent you were with it. So how many deals have you guys gotten like this year and last year? Could you put a number to it?
Yeah, last year I did 153, and then this year I think I'll finish probably the year with like probably like over 110, 120.
That was with you leaving.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
a couple
Obviously,
months
there was
too.
other stuff that happened too. Got some deals in the meantime and stuff, but yeah, it'll probably be like in the last 2 years from just this year and last year. Yeah, 153, and then 120, 130 hopefully. So
Heck yeah, bro.
that'd be like over 250, I think.
That's crazy. What about you, JJ?
Yeah. So I think actually this year, I have like 97 currently. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, you're right there.
Yeah, I know, dude. It's crazy how like, yeah, it's just nuts, dude. It's
Wasn't
nuts.
fighting for salesperson of the year.
Yeah. All right.
We'll see who gets it, bro. Okay, so like 97 this year. You said 100.
I'm just like guesstimating from like what's like now till December and then end of the year. I'm guessing there will be an extra at least 15 to 20 for both. So hopefully, say that's 10 deals this month, 10 deals next, or however the split would be. I'd say there'd be at least another. It would add up to like 110, 120. I think,
Okay.
Yeah.
if the end of the rest of the month goes good for here and then next month.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'll probably end with like 110, 122
Okay.
with the next few
So
months.
I know you guys get this question a ton, but 120 deals for the year, that's crazy. What do you got to say for someone literally trying to get their first deal, doesn't know anything? What advice would you give to them?
I would say honestly, like the first step is obviously like looking for a deal, and then I'd say like the most important step is to be able to actually like communicate with a seller, because if you can't communicate with the seller, you could have a deal right in front of you, but you're not going to get anywhere with it. So I'd say like, yeah, start trying to find a deal, and then also have like the skills to talk to them.
What do you mean by, like what would you, by communicate, what exactly would that look like?
So just being able to like talk to a seller, talk to somebody, and like understand their situation, what they're trying to accomplish when selling their house, like why they're wanting to sell it, and then just being able to have like an actual like conversation where you guys can, because a lot of people just go in there, they won't build any rapport with them, they won't actually do any of that, they just kind of go in there, and then it just makes like a tense situation.
It's too businessy.
Exactly.
You're not even teaching them like a human being.
Yeah, so just having like good communication
them, so.
is like key, because you can lose a deal if you don't have good communication for sure, and being
sir.
upfront and honest.
About you,
Yeah,
Andrew?
100% that. And then one thing for me, obviously how I got started, I started reading books. So that was kind of like a requirement for me to even like start. Like I'd watch other things on YouTube, but I think the first step is self-development. Like I think somebody can just come in and definitely learn and figure it out. But I think preparing yourself to get that next deal or whatever that looks like for somebody getting into real estate. I think self-development is a big one, like pouring money or into yourself, like put money into yourself about real estate, like get courses, different things like that. And I know people are like, oh, like courses or like, there's that out there, but like do research, get the right information, learn from the right people, get in the right groups, ask really good questions, and you can get a lot of information from people that are already doing it. And I'd say that's the easiest way for somebody to even like start now. And like we're even helping people do it right now. Like literally like find a company or find somebody that's already doing a lot of deals or really good at sales, whatever it might be, and learn from them, or like bring them deals. And then bandit signs are really good, obviously, to start if somebody wants to get into it for cheap. But like JJ said, sales is everything for like getting a deal or getting your first deal. So when I was like, oh, like there's definitely a difference between an investor and like an actual salesperson, or like a home buying company like us that's like buying properties on a scale. Like you got to know what you're doing at the house. You got to know what you're doing when you're talking to your client to like actually get a good deal and like know what you're doing, because you're dealing with somebody's life. Like, you're literally dealing with somebody's life and house, and it's like one of the biggest things they're ever gonna
it's
do.
a big deal.
Yeah,
that's a big deal.
So I would definitely just be educated, and then become like the best version of yourself, or start that chapter. And your clients and people, when you show up and just how you talk and how you present yourself, like they're gonna take you serious. So
Something else too, I would say, is like putting yourself around people that are where you want to go. So like coming to like the RIAs and like getting on Facebook, like messaging different people. Because I've reached out to so many people, like to the point where they probably thought it was annoying, but at the same time, once they saw how like consistent I was with reaching out to them and like trying to get different information, they knew that I was serious and actually wanted to like do something with real estate and do things like that. And so I'd say like put yourself around people like that are doing what you want to do, for sure.
Yep. Heck yeah. Andrew, I'm really glad you brought up the self-development point, because I was going to ask you, it's sort of like a two-part question. What has been the most like influential self-development, either seminar, book, or just anything else, like person you met that influenced you the most? And also, follow-up question, you guys are beasts and you guys are working hard every day. What does your daily routine look like because of that said influence, I guess, if that makes any sense?
Biggest like life-changing seminar that I've gone to so far would be Size 7. That for personal development, like growing myself, like outside of just getting information stuff, Size 7, that one was insane. Yeah. Like that one was the one that changed everything for me, at least, was just how I showed up to other people, or just like how I was showing up for myself. So that was just like that was just a good start to actually like take action, instead of like have kind of like, I knew it was like I was aware of it, but I actually was like taking actual steps during the seminar and like on the days and different things to like break through, I guess, those barriers and what I was experiencing, because I had the awareness of like, all right, I'm familiar with these things and like why I show up this way and stuff, but I didn't like I wasn't put in like scenarios where like I was showing it. Like I would just in my normal day-to-day life, but that was the biggest one for me, was Size 7. Just literally just because of the personal development and like you're actually physically doing things. Like you're getting taught stuff, but then you're physically actually doing things, which are hard. And it made me had to break through a lot of like things. So that was that. And then obviously the Grant Cardone seminars, those have all been good.
Is that 10X?
Yeah, 10X. Yeah, 10X, and then Pineda and all of them, and Andy Elliott one was pretty cool. I know those are other ones, but Size 7 was definitely my favorite. Like that's made me feel better about going into these other seminars with the information that I got just from that 7 to 9, I think it's 7 to 9 day experience, whatever it was, and just being disconnected from my phone. Like we didn't have any like cell phone service. Like, it was just like it was like I was a caveman, like in a way, like just out there. So that was really cool, just learning about myself in that way too, without like social media or like a phone. And then follow-up question.
We'll get back to it. I was just going to ask, do you think like going to those seminars has directly affected like your financials, or how you approach sales?
Yeah, no, 100%. The Grant Cardone ones, the 10X ones that were like a huge part, those were like the first ones I kind of like really like saw like a big event, because he'd have like the growth cons, so those are more like hype, and then like famous speakers are coming in and stuff, and like just seeing like where they're at in their lives on a whole other scale, like it was just cool hearing, like even freaking Trump, like saw him speak there in 2022, and just like seeing these people from a different perspective inside, and seeing that like they're all human too. It just like, it gave me confidence of like I can do it too. But it's just nice like knowing like how I show up and stuff. It was just like that stuff just amplifies it. just amplifies it more and more and more. So yeah, it definitely motivated me a lot more to want to do bigger things and get on a scale, because everybody at those seminars, or most people, are already on a different level, or like there's bigger players in these other areas.
Yeah.
So it's like, dude, like there's still a lot more for me to do. So it definitely gives me like a different standard to like want to rise to when I would show up to those. And I was able to bring it back here, and like that's obviously shown. And like, yeah, so that'll help me with sales and financials and
Absolutely.
I think something too about the 10X is like when we went there, you get to hear like all the other people's stories. Like we saw Tyler Perry, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and
John Maxwell,
Yeah, and they would tell you like they're
Mike Tyson.
They would tell you what?
bro.
Oh my gosh.
This is awesome.
As you can tell, I don't know, JJ.
Bro, you were like,
I was looking
no,
at
I was
you,
gonna
bro.
say,
John Maxwell, freaking Mike Tyson. I mean, all of them. Like people.
but what was like really what impacted me the most was like hearing their stories, like where they started, because like you think, oh, these guys had it easy, bro.
Bro, just keep going.
All right, so you think that these guys had it like easy, but then they tell you their story of like where they started and like how they got to where they're at, and it's actually like it's crazy, because I think it was Tyler Perry, or one of them was homeless. Like obviously Mike Tyson's story is just crazy how he's gotten to where he's at, but Tyler Perry's story is really good, and then Arnold's his was really good too, because he actually he got into real estate too. He had like what was it, like a 20 unit apartment building or something
Yeah.
like that,
Yep.
and that's how he kind of like started out, which I thought was really interesting, because you think, oh, he's just rich because of like movies or something like that, but he started way before that. So
Yeah.
it's interesting hearing the stories.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Is that what you would say was your biggest like influence, was going to a 10X seminar, or do you have like a book or a person you met?
Yeah, so I'd say like the 10X seminar was awesome. I think you learn like different things from each like seminar that you go to. So like I would say 10X was like really, really good. And then we went to Andy Elliott's office, and we got to like meet Andy Elliott, the Macklin twins, and something from there that I took away was like you create your atmosphere. So so when you're in the office and it's like a down environment, a down mood, like you have the ability to change that and like hype everybody up. And they definitely do that there. Like we were upstairs and everybody in the office came through. They were like hyping us up, giving us hugs and stuff like that. And it was just like, it's just like the morale and like the atmosphere there is like crazy. So
Absolutely.
it just shows you that you can make it whatever you want.
Yeah.
And then I'd say my best book was probably that I didn't read it, but I did an audiobook, and it was Think and Grow Rich. That was a good book.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I need to re-listen to it, but that was a good one.
Sponsored.
Yeah, I'm gonna add to that real quick. I was just thinking of some other thing. I'd say like two, like everything, like how we were saying, like we heard other people's stories. Like I think that was one of the biggest motivators, is hearing other people's stories, and it just like motivates you to like have your own story, or like create a story and like keep writing that chapter. So that was like for me, I was like hearing these other people's stories, and they're like way older than we are, and then it's just like it just gives you kind of like that, like it is possible, like it can happen, like these people like were in way more difficult situations than I were, had different childhoods or whatever it might be, and like look at what they like turned out to be, or like look what they built, or like the person they become, and like how they've impacted other people's lives now. So I think that's always very important when like even when we went to the Turnstone and like we're doing these other things, it's like just all of us too, even in the company, like we all have a story. Even how we started here, like we all have very unique stories. So that's what I've noticed just within talking to people and doing sales and like helping like buy people's houses, is like I tell them like a story, and I'm always telling them a story of like, here was like when I started, and like here's how everything kind of happened. Like I'd always give them like a little brief overview story of kind of like LTD to build like trust and credibility. And like I would usually like have way higher percent of like a closing rate to like or a likeliness of getting that person. So it also depends on where you're at too, like where you're at in your life, because I could go to the 10X GrowthCon next year and have like a completely different effect or feeling than I did last year, but like my life completely changed from the last one to that. So it definitely, I was thinking about that too. I know Dakota said that a lot too, just like it all comes down to like where you're at in your life, and just always knowing like things are going to change. like with what I did a couple weeks ago and like got result with or like happened, like I might have to like change something up, you know, in the coming weeks. And I mean, we all know that just with our like what changes, just working here and us, evolving. So
There are changes weekly.
yeah.
For real. I'm glad JJ brought up the whole environment thing. I know you guys are both super passionate about your jobs. Just wanted to ask, like, working here, it'll be interesting for Andrew since he, I'm sure a lot of people know, but Andrew left for a little bit and then came back. But what about here is different? For me, I'll just say real quick, the environment, it's pretty rare that you'll come in and someone's in a, pissy, sad mood. Yeah. Or if they are, we got the team to cheer them up. Everyone's going to ask what's wrong. So I just wanted to ask you, like, what's different about here? Both of you guys.
For me, I mean, everybody, like, when I came back, like, everything was different for me. I'm like, dude, everybody's energy is different, and, like, everybody, like, has grown. Like, everybody still figured it out, and I always had, like, some, like, ego behind, like, for the longest time, like, oh, like, they, like, if I left, like, oh my gosh, like, how are you going to replace me, like, type of thing, when it was just me and I was the only one. And then even when like Luis came on, I was like, oh, if I left, like, it'd be a big part of it. And then obviously once I went to other seminars and stuff, it's like, it's going to be fine no matter what. Like, they already built like kind of like a machine in a way. Like, somebody else can come in and do the exact same thing I'm doing. Now, it might not happen as quick, or they might not produce, like, whatever it might be, but everybody's energy just changed. And I knew I decided, I was like, I'm all in. Like, I don't feel like I was all in for a long time, and then I just started going through my own things, and then it made me just start showing up differently. And I just broke then, and I was like, I don't know what to do anymore. I got to go get help. So when I had the meeting with all of them, it was basically just like, I decided when I made the choice to come back after talking with Dakota, I was like, I decided in that moment, I was like, I have to go all in. Like, I can't just come back here and, like, piddle paddle around and, like, stay for a couple years and then go on or whatever. Like, I'm all in wherever we're going, whatever's happening, however long, like, I'm all in. And I just got to experience, like, it's not all sunshines and rainbows out there in the world.
No.
Like, everybody else that has, like, the 9-to-5 jobs, or, like, even if they're working at these other areas playing a specific role, or if they're a realtor, even if they're with another acquisitions company or whatever, like, I was like, there's nothing out there like this, at least that I found. And it all comes back to people then. Like, it's about the people, not about, like, the place. So that's what it was for me. So I just decided I'm going all in, and I was like, I can't just come back and do what I was doing before, and, like, showing up a certain way and affecting other people's feelings, and then, like, not being able to, like, have certain relationships with people that, like, might have been, like, timid to because of, like, how I was showing up. So for me, I decided to go all in, and I was like, and I was doing counseling and, like, other things like that in the meantime, and, like, learning and, like, all right, actually doing some self-development. I'm like, I can't just, like, not do it and then, like, still just be showing up this way. So, and, like, size 7, like, saying that was the best one, all the stuff I was experiencing going through in those moments, like, months ago, like, if I wouldn't have gone to size 7, like, that stuff would have affected me worse, or, like, I wouldn't have had, like, those realizations at that time. I would have just let it, like, drag on. So yeah, I just was like, I'm going all in, which that equaled, like, showing up, being the better person, like, being there for the team. I just looked at it as, like, a sports team. It's like, I got to show up and be a team player. Who cares how good I am? Who cares this? Who cares that? Everybody in here is freaking a beast. Doesn't matter. Like, everybody else is talented and everything in their own certain ways. Like, it doesn't matter. None of the other stuff matters. It's like, I just want to show up and crush it with a great team. And I already experienced, like, there's nothing else out there. And, like, I don't really want to do it by myself, and I don't care about if I could even make more money. Like, more money, but, like, what more sacrifices? Yeah. What more, like losing my life, or, like pouring all these other things into my life that are going to, like, take me away from things that I want to, like, focus on. So that I would say that for me. That was a long one, but
no, of course.
That's what I can think of.
Yeah, I'll interrupt JJ real quick. But, yeah, I feel like it's just a different environment when everyone's got the same goal. They're all united in one goal. Yeah. Like, you look at the best sports teams, like, I don't know if you guys pay attention to football. Chiefs, they're undefeated, but they're not the best team. Yeah. But you can tell they're all bought into it, and that's what it feels like here. Yeah. So
100%. And just to go off that real quick, like, now me knowing I'm all in and, like, having that feeling, and, like, I've just made the choice already, like, you can feel when somebody's not all in.
Oh yeah.
So like when now you can see when somebody's not all in, it's like, all right, there has to be had a conversation now. So like now me seeing that I'm like fully all in, even though I was all in, like there was years I was all in, but then I went through a rut and like it messed with me. But now like growing, becoming stronger from that and learning what I did in that meantime. And then now like with being back in where we're at, like right now on today's date, like I want to change anything. And, yeah,
Absolutely.
it's like you got to decide that, and then we can freaking crush it all together.
It's better to work as a team than just
Yeah.
all individual.
Yeah, and it made me think about it too. It's like, dude, like these people here are great. Like you don't come across stuff like this. Like I like you start taking some things for granted sometimes. Like seeing the same people every day, doing this, doing that, doing that. When I like was gone, I was like, dude, like you just feel like you're out there in the world and nobody's there for you. So like having the people we do here, I'm like, dude, like there's nothing like it. I just look back at all like the times and where LTD's been in every single growth spot and everybody along the journey, like when they were coming and getting hired, when you came in, when like just the cycle of how everybody just it coming over time. It's like, dude, those moments were great, and it's like look at where we're at now. So it's like I can't imagine like what the next couple years are gonna look like for all of us, and like looking back like now and being like, wow, like all of that.
It'll be fun looking back even at this.
Yeah, exactly.
100%.
Well, okay, JJ, what about you?
I would say honestly, like the leadership here is like having a good leader is like key to having like a good environment. So just having like a really good leader here it's definitely helped, I think, just shape everybody into like who they are, and then also just having like I don't know, like accountability with everybody. So if somebody sees you slacking off or somebody sees you doing something, like they're going to say something. And that also brings me to like everybody is very authentic around here. Like I don't think there's anything that anybody doesn't really know about like somebody. You know what I mean? Like everybody knows everything about everybody, like what's going on, which I think brings everybody closer and can be super good. So yeah, I would say that. And yeah, just like a really good group of people. Like it's very unique, the group we have.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I feel like we're all, you guys might flame me, but I feel like we're all friends. I know I don't really hang out too much outside of work, but I feel like, yeah, there's a good camaraderie around here.
I mean, when you think about it, like most of the time, I mean, we're at work basically all day.
Yep.
Like in a way, like, you know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, I mean, I look at it as that too. Like when I am outside of work, even if I am with like other friends and stuff like that, it is just still nice knowing like, dude, I get to show up Monday with like everybody else. We're all like very close and similar in age. Like we obviously have been all working together for years or like, you know, on like whatever. So we all have history. We know each other. Like we're really real and authentic. And it's nice being able to show up and like have people like that. Because sometimes when you are in the outside world, it's like you like some of like other people or like some people's other friends or whatever, like not everybody like has like that, so it's kind of good to get a balance of both, like when you are here like having that Monday through Friday, and then yeah, if you want to spend time with like other friends and stuff outside of that, that's also good too. But it's just nice like knowing you're not just showing up and you just have these random people, or like somebody new could just got hired and you don't know who the frick they are. Like it's just awesome knowing that like not just anybody can walk in here and like get a job that we might know. Like everybody in here has been like chose or selected.
Yeah, seriously.
So that's the coolest part about this place and our team is it's not like we were just like, all right, hey, like, you know, come in and like do this now. It's for different roles. We've had interviews and stuff, but like the person is picked.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not just like, hey, your resume looks like this, and that. Like you look like you're qualified.
Yeah.
It's like
Something I want to say too, I don't know about you guys, but like working and having a construction background and then like going into work and stuff like that, and like the environment and a job like that is completely different than it is here. But I don't know how many times it would be like Saturday or Sunday and I'm already thinking like, oh my gosh, dude, I have to go to work on Monday, dude.
Work on Monday.
I have not had like a single day where I was like, dang, I have to go to work Monday, or like, dang, I don't want to get up and go to work today. Like I love coming in here, being around everybody. It's just like, it's a really good environment.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the Sunday scaries, they say.
Yeah.
Dude, I used to have those all the time at a different job, and now it's like, okay, I got to get a lot done this week. So
Yeah.
I feel like from the public's view, a lot of people view us as the young guys who just joke around. You know, we're outside playing frisbee.
Yeah.
We're playing basketball. But what's like most people 9 to 5? Walk us through your guys' days how much work it takes to actually get the numbers you guys get, and the sacrifices you have to make.
I like that because it definitely. So, I mean, normal day. I mean, typically, how I like it to go would be, getting a workout in the morning, getting in here, and then just basically that helps me at least. I like going to the gym at night, but I feel better in the morning. But the morning is obviously a lot harder. But I feel a lot better, and it helps me, then I'm, ready. I feel, pumped still. I feel, full a little bit. I'm like, oh, I feel good. I feel like I'm woken up then at that point. But for the sales and stuff like that, I mean, I get my day started. I mean, we usually all start. I mean, our meetings normally go till 9:45, 10.
Yeah.
Or after that. So usually get started at least by 10:15, 10:30.
Yeah, but you're here at 9.
Yeah, but we're here at 9. Yeah, we're here at 9, doing all the other stuff on the calendar that we got in the morning for the team. So yeah, get started then. And then, I mean, for me, it'll be 6, 7, 8 o'clock some nights. Last night it was 8 o'clock. So I'm I choose now to do it that long, but that's how we do 20, 30, 40 deals a month. Or that's how you do 10 plus deals a month, 15 deals plus a month as an acquisitions person. It does definitely require long hours on different days and times, but if you set it up right and with your people and stuff, I mean, you can set it up where you could get 10 properties plus in the first 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then you could kind of maybe ease off the gas a little bit if you want to leave a little bit earlier. You don't want to keep pushing numbers really at that point. Or you're just all right, if I do 10 deals, I'm going to make this much money. I'm good with that. That's fine for a person. It's just it doesn't last that long over time. You just you gotta. I said in the other podcast I did with freaking Brian, I was you have to just go. You literally have to go all in on the position, and you kind of have to just dedicate your life to it. Kind of make it a lifestyle thing. It can revolve around the clock Monday to Sunday. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We're getting calls and web and forms filled out and everything Saturday, Sunday. And with our new rules now, it's we got to get on it. Or hey, whoever's working or on it, if this is what the rules are or this, then Yeah,
I was going to say, I know when you guys, you clock, let's say you quote unquote clock out at 8. I know you guys are still going home, and if there's a phone call, you're going to pick it up.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, there's some nights I'm all right, I'm going to freaking just get my brain off of this for a little bit because I've been on it all day. And I'm going to put it to something different on my power list or whatever. I might still have to get knocked off. So it can be not exciting or look boring, but then it's there's a level of work required to again produce that much volume. But if you want your income to change, I mean, you kind of have to do some of that stuff at the beginning.
Oh yeah, I feel that all again revolves around setting yourself up to be in a good environment. Because if you're not in a good environment working like that, it's not.
Yeah, you will.
It's gonna suck.
You're gonna be.
It's gonna suck.
You're gonna drain. Yeah, you're gonna get drained, or you're literally just gonna break.
Yeah.
If you're even producing high numbers but have a crappy environment, you're gonna fall really quick unless you have some sort of mentorship or something that's feeding you positive information or helping you show up and just be no matter what this is, I'm gonna do it. But it still sucks mentally.
Yeah,
100%.
JJ, what's your day look like? And maybe get into. I know you work out. Yep. Get into the importance of why working out sets you up for the day. I guess I know 100%. Andrew touched on it a little bit.
Yeah. So I would definitely say every morning I go to the gym. I start off going to the gym. So first off, I wake up, I drink some water because you're super dehydrated in the morning. I've noticed if I don't drink water, I get a crappy lift and I just feel weird throughout the day. So I always drink a cup of water. I pray every single morning on the way to the gym. And then, as soon as I get to the gym, I start working out. And I think working out in the morning time really, it just gets your body. I don't know, man. Honestly, sorry, Bobby.
No, you're good, bro.
No, I'd say working out, dude, really just gets you into the mindset of just ready to go. It gets your body moving, it gets your mind moving, and then it makes you feel confident. I think that's the real important part. Going to the gym, it's starting off the day with a win. So you start off the day, you go to the gym, you get a good workout in. And yeah, it just puts you on track to have like a good rest of your day. And I don't know how many times I've woke up and I'm like, dude, I know I'm going to go to the gym and have a crappy workout. And I go to the gym and have the best workout of my life. And then like the rest of my day is just like on point. Like everything's just going good. But yeah, so go to the gym, and then obviously I come to work, get here at 9. We do our morning meetings, everything like that. Go over like wins and good things, and just like have a team bonding moment, honestly. And then yeah, start working, start calling, and then yeah, eat lunch, and then keep calling, keep talking to people, going on appointments, setting appointments. Something too that I kind of saw Andrewski kind of taught me is like getting like all of your stuff organized. I think being organized too is like it's so much more important than like you actually think. So just like having like all of my, so I had like a lot of like my W-2 and like tax documents and stuff like that from like previous jobs and stuff. And I saw Andrew, and he had all this stuff. Like, he is like the most organized guy ever, like, truly.
I'm glad you're touching on this, because that is a big part of like being a really great salesperson too. It's not even the skill that, like, that's a part of it, but like being organized and having all that too can like make you be a whole nother level.
Yeah, so like having like systems and processes, like everything set up, it makes everything so much easier. Because I needed to send in like tax information for a loan that I was applying for, and like I was like trying to go through. I had like the little cabinet file, and like I'm over here pulling out all these documents, like trying to like snapshot them and stuff. And he's like, "Dude, you should do this." And like I go over to his computer, and he's got everything just laid out like in documents. And I'm like, "Bro, that is genius." He's like, "Yeah, if I need to send something, he just clicks it and then sends it and drops it." So it's like, and it's not just with that, it's like with everything, having everything organized is like crucial. Absolutely. And just having like a routine too. Sticking to a routine is very important, and honoring your word. So like sticking to what you say you're gonna do. So if you're like, I'm gonna go to the gym 5 days a week every morning, and then the next day you don't go to the gym, you're lying to yourself. And then it doesn't seem like it's that deep. You may come up with excuses and different things like that, but you're lying to yourself. And the more you do that, the more you start to not trust yourself. And it's hard to understand that and actually like realize what that means. But when you don't trust yourself, you don't trust yourself in making like decisions, or like going out and like trying to get that job. You'll start to not trust yourself, and your confidence level will go down. So that's very important.
You'll feel it.
Yeah, Wes Watson talks about that a lot, like sticking to your word and doing what you say you're gonna do.
Yeah,
definitely feel it. There's days I've been like, all right, I got to get this done. Then I like put my focus on something different, then I don't, and I'm like, I feel like crap.
Yeah,
and then like figure out a way to get it done that day. If not, like I just have to accept like I need to do better.
100%.
I need to be better, because it is hard.
Yeah, for sure. I know discipline goes a long way, but I know both of you guys have like mentors in your life. Could you just go over the importance of having a mentor? That way it helps. I know it helps you stay disciplined, and they hold you accountable. Could you just go over how important that is for, I don't know, if you're going to go into sales, or just if you want to be successful in life in general? I know you guys are big advocates for that.
Yeah, I mean, even just my journey getting started and my story, like I had a mentor for everything. Like I realized that at that time, and I always hear people like be like, you have to have get a mentor. And I was already like figuring things out by myself, or watching, like I already had like that start of curiosity about like, let me see what this is about, or like, let me start watching some videos, or like, let me start typing in and like searching some things. So, I mean, I wouldn't be anywhere where I'm at in my life, or achieved anything, or like broke through anything, or did certain things in my days to like get me to where I'm at now, if I did not have a mentor. I would have never came back here if I didn't have a mentor. Like none of that ever would have happened. And like Coach Kelly, freaking shout out him. I mean, from the day I like had stepped out till coming back, he was there. Like we talked every freaking day. And it wasn't even about like, all right, do this business thing and like make this much, or I got this new business idea, like let's get into this. Like he wasn't trying to pull me in directions. I was like very centered in like, let's make you a better person. Like you got like, let's like, and I'm like doing the right things to like learn how to be a better person. I'm like, all right, counseling here, got this person, got Kelly. I mean, I still had Dakota and everybody else too. Like I still had them, I just wasn't here. So like I had all those other mentors, and then obviously any mentors that I follow on social media, or that I've, gone to, or like watching their stuff. yeah, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now without a mentor or like done any of the stuff I've done. So for me, I think it's everything to have a mentor. Obviously, if you can afford it, I think that's very like that's one of like that's a big top priority thing. Not just any mentor, but like somebody. I think there's like both because like there's somebody that can help you in your personal life with your mentorship, which I think is gonna amplify the way you show up within like your business, and, like the business world too. And then obviously, I think there's levels of I mean, I have people for certain things too. I mean, like all my rental properties, I have property management. They're not like a mentor, but they're a piece of like a thing that like helps me like be able to still go do what I do. So I have like connections in these other people that kind of like I work with or like do business with or like that they kind of help like coach me and stuff like that. And then I've just been able to take everything and go all in with it and here.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And two, like if you're gonna get a mentor, like if depending on like an industry or whatever, like you would be in, I mean, you definitely want to get somebody. Like if you're like wanting to get into sales or blah blah blah, I mean, like that'd be like okay, probably like start with like an Andy Elliott, Grant Cardone, like those type of guys. Like, yeah, like find somebody that's tailored into like your space. But you can't ever go wrong with just a mentor that is just for all like just self development in general. Because it does start with your personal life and like showing up the right way, I think, for sure.
Yeah, it just goes back to the whole self-development because that'll show up literally everywhere.
The power list or like the daily commitments. So, I mean, that's a big one.
100%. I would say for me, like, I remember like being younger and like you hear everybody, like you watch these YouTube videos and stuff like that and everybody's like, yeah, you need to find a mentor, hire a mentor. And it's like, how am I supposed to find like a mentor? So I think also like looking back, I think like everybody is a mentor in one way or another. So it's like you may see somebody, maybe they're not a positive mentor, but they're still mentoring you and like, okay, this is what I don't want to do. This is where I don't want to be or how I don't want to live. So what can I do that is the opposite of this to get to where I want to go? And then I think, just seeing what everybody else is doing and like, you can learn from everybody pretty much is what I'm saying. But then I don't know, like honestly, I wouldn't say I ever had like a mentor. Like obviously like my mom, my dad, my grandma, grandpa, everything like that. They're definitely like mentors, but it's also like different, like having your dad as a mentor versus having somebody else as a mentor, you know what I mean? So like an outside figure where you look up to. But I would say like YouTube was probably like my biggest mentor, honestly. Like just watching videos of like Grant Cardone, like Ed Milet, he's a huge one. Rob Dyrdek even. Like all these people definitely I would say were like my biggest mentors like starting when I was younger. And then now I would say Dakota is like my biggest mentor right now. Just like having him around, like he definitely pushes all of us to like the next level. I can ask him anything, I can text him, I can call him and do anything like that and he can help me get to the next step. So
yeah,
he's
absolutely.
a beast.
Yes, sir. It's all about taking what you want out of the certain people. So okay, this is a fun question. You guys are technically like competitors. You guys are all commission based for the most part.
Yeah.
So what's that like? You guys are obviously friends, but what's it like competing daily and like have like the healthy balance of it, I guess? Like what are the benefits of it and like what's so good about it, if that makes any sense?
I want to see what you say first because I already know what I'm going to say.
So I would say...
I feel like mine's going to be different.
I would say like, honestly, like I'm competitive, but I'm not, it just depends on like what the situation is. Like honestly, I just want to be able to do what I have to do to get to my next steps. Like I don't care if I beat Andrew and get more deals than him, honestly. Would I like to? Yeah, but it's not like my main goal. So I'm not like super competitive in that aspect of it. Obviously, like I'd like to have more deals and do more deals and stuff like that. But he definitely, I'd say Luis and Andrew, like just seeing them like pushing themselves and like getting more deals, making more calls, it definitely pushes you. Or like just like walking into their office and you see them on the phone and you're like, dang, I was gonna go in there and like start talking to them for a little bit and like goofing off or something. It's like, okay, yeah. So it's like, okay, I need to go back in there and make some more calls and different stuff like that. But I would say like obviously we all have like a competitive side of us. Like everybody wants to get the most deals or salesperson of the month. So
yeah, that's a good point. I feel like the way you put it, it's more you guys motivate each other rather than try to kill each other.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, that's how I look at it too. I mean, it's the salesperson of the month, that's great. All that stuff's great. At the end of the day, it's like we all are killers in our own way.
100%.
And obviously I've been here, like, it's not about, that's the crazy part too, it's not about how long you've been somewhere or whatever. Like, JJ's came in and, like, crushed it, like, very quick. Like, JJ, like I was telling him, like, before, I was like, dude, you remind me a lot of, like, when I got started. Like, you have very similar, like, how you've already started. Like, you're doing, like, very similar results that I was doing at the very beginning, but, like, you have a lot different information of crap that we've already gone through and kind of figured out that now you can learn now quicker or get quicker, that we had to maybe go through and get a little bit, and I didn't get it till you're now. Yeah, I still learned it before you, but you're getting all this right now. Like, like, look at from when you started. Yeah, I've been here for X amount of years, but from when you started to now, you have you have amounts of information and things that we've gone through, trial, tested, and, like, learned and added to our process that you get to freaking, like, know quick.
Yep.
So JJ definitely, I mean, too, we've had other people come in here and, like, they just haven't even done, like, what JJ has done, being a newer, like, fresh, like, employee, and, like, at least in the acquisition side. So yeah, I mean, that's even for me, like, even coming back. And, like, one thing I saw, because, like, when I left, like, obviously I see JJ, like, JJ was getting the salesperson of the month, and, like, he did step up and freaking, like, put in that, like, work, or, like, like, do what was required. Like, he freaking, like, again, there's, like, back against the wall type of moment, like breaker at the bottom of the moment, and it's like, it was, like, either break, like, sink or swim. Sink or swim, and JJ wasn't gonna, like, still, but in that moment, it's like, dude, I gotta, like, I gotta now replace that, or, like, do that, or, like, I got, like, there's a new standard now that I got. So just seeing it from a distance of him crushing it still and doing all that made me happy. And same with Luis, like, seeing everything still going good. But definitely, like, super proud of JJ for that, just because I'm like, dude, he's fresh in, and, like, he picked up on it very quick. And he's still learning. So that's what I want to do, is, like, keep helping pour into him, and, like, obviously pour into Luis. But, like, JJ being newer, like, we're very similar with, like, kind of our approach, or just, again, journey. With just, like, our sales experience, or, like, us getting really good at it. So yeah, I want to give him as much as I know too, so, like, he has that as well. So I love getting a lot of deals. I love doing all that stuff. I know I'm really good at getting a lot of deals. I know I just have a very unique way of how I talk to people, and, like, how I can close them very quickly or just get them to the next step. But yeah, that's how I looked at it, and coming back, that was kind of my mentality. And yeah, I mean, like, I'm not going to ever just hold anything back and not be like, no, I'm not going to do that because of that. And I'm not going to think I'm better. Anyway, it's just like, yeah, we all have our unique sort of skill sets. And it also goes back, too, of, like, I put so much time into just sales, too, like, outside of the office. Like, I put in tons of work outside of the office. Like, I was doing a lot of stuff in the beginning, and even now, and, like, in between the whole time I've been here, there was so much work I did outside in the office to, like, actually become really, like, how great I have been able to become so far at sales so quickly, is because I was putting in double, triple, quadruple of the work outside of here, just with, like, wanting to know more information on sales. And then, like, two, I'd have good result one day. I'd be like, dude, are there a couple more things I can pick up off of YouTube or something that I could try and use when I'm having a conversation with a seller? Or are there some questions that I could go maybe ask Dakota or somebody to get new information or new responses, where I can go out and have better result at getting more contracts, or getting lower deals where I can get paid more, like, and the company make more. Like, I was just trying to figure out, how can I just get really good at this where I don't need anybody and I can just go do it no matter where I'm at. And we're all very similar to that. But yeah, that was me coming back. I'm like, I want to definitely pour into JJ. And again, there's been other people leave that, like, was learning, had the same opportunities as JJ, had a lot of other things, and JJ freaking put in the work very early on, and it's shown what he's achieving. So.
Yeah, and that's where I say, like, it's like, the group that we have is very unique, because, like, like, anybody can come in here and have, like, the same opportunity as Andrew. Like, anybody could have the same opportunity as Andrew when he met Tony and Dakota, but had completely different results. So it's, like, it's very interesting, like, how we've all, like, me, Andrew, and Luis have, like, all just kind of, like, we're all very similar in different ways, you know what I mean? So we definitely all have, like, a very similar, like, mindset, I guess.
I was gonna say, it all goes back to being united, because sort of, you go to a car dealership, they're all fighting each other for the deals. You know, it's not like it is here. Here it's like, we can all eat. Like, we're gonna all push each other to be better, and the results are gonna be there for all of us.
100%.
So
that definitely took a lot of different things too, and breakthroughs, and getting like, you know, rid of people and different things like that. And I can truly feel like now, like, that's one of the things I did feel coming back. I was like, we have the right group here now.
Absolutely.
Not that we done it before and other things, but like we truly have the freaking right group here now.
100%.
Like we really do, and that's helped me even show up too, like with
Yeah.
because like my emotions aren't getting regulated by other things, but
Yeah.
so that's what I would say for that is we just all want to help each other, and I think there were different phases of us having to become better individuals to kind of have the environment and that competitive environment we have in like a really like mature way and like friendly way and like wanting each other to win.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like a toxic like
No, not at
anything
all.
like that.
I was gonna say, yeah, and it definitely helps now. I feel like everyone's in, like I feel like we always had the right people, just not always in the right seats. But now we're all going through the sharper training. Everyone's like where I think they need to be. Yeah, we're kind of getting near the end, so I'll ask a final fun question. Yeah, fun final question. You guys have a funny story or like a horror story at an appointment or anything like that? I have one. I'll start us off so you can think about it.
Okay, yep, I got one too, so I'm ready.
Yeah, when I first started, I was going around taking pictures of every property we had. Like we had no, I don't know, it was nothing compared to what it is today, and I didn't even have access to our deals.
Yeah.
And Ryan gave me a property to go take pictures at. I show up, there's a lockbox, the code's not working that he gave me. I go and knock on the door, dude answers, and he's clearly on something. Like he had smoked. Yeah. I was like, hey, I'm with LTD. You mind if I come take pictures? He's like, oh, yeah, man. Of course. I go in, I take pictures, and then I call Ryan once I leave. I was like, yeah, there's a dude in there. He's like, what? Check the address. I'm at the wrong place. I went to the wrong place.
So crazy.
Yeah, I walked through the guy's house, and he just let me take a picture of everything. His girlfriend was in there. It was really weird.
Bro, that is hilarious.
It was so weird, dude. That was the weirdest I've ever felt in my life. So, yeah.
I wonder what they thought after you left. They were probably like, okay, well, I wonder what
He
he
maybe
was
thought
doing.
I was a ghost or something. Because he was smoking for
I feel
sure.
like I remember that, like when you.
Yeah,
That's
and it was-
funny. I forgot about that.
It was, I'm glad nothing like that happened again. But yeah, that was it was embarrassing.
That's so funny.
That's crazy.
And there was
dude.
just a lockbox on it.
There was a lockbox upstairs, but it must have been like the unit was empty upstairs. Like it was upstairs, and that's where the lockbox said it was on when Ryan told me. So I thought it was the property. No, it's the one across the street. So.
How random that was the one that you went up to.
I know, yeah, of course it had a lockbox.
Yeah, I know, bro.
Yeah, that was so. Yeah, that was embarrassing.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Do you want to go?
Yeah,
story.
I'll do like a horror story. So it was just kind of like a scary time. It was like very uncomfortable. So me and Luis actually, this is last year. We were going to this appointment, and this guy was like going through a lot of stuff, and just like hard time in life, honestly. And so we went there, and it was like a time in the year where like it just got really dark, like really quick. You know what I mean? So.
Yep.
It wasn't very late, but it was very dark out, and we got there and we're like, oh dang, like it's really dark. So we go up there, and it's on the lake, and like we knock on the door and stuff like that, and there's like random like beat up cars everywhere, like there's dogs barking, like it was just an eerie like feeling, you know what I mean? Like they're
Like a
not really
haunted house,
not really a lot of like people close by or anything like that, and there's no lights, like there's no like street lights or anything, so it's like really dark. And then we go like knock on the door, and like he opens it, and there's just like this tiny little like candle light sitting on like the in like the living room area. And I'm like, dude, why is like no lights on? And like he had no power, so there was no lights on at all inside the house. And I'm like, dude, this is just like this is getting sketchy.
Yeah.
And then so we're in there like kind of talking to him, and he's being very weird, like very like doesn't really want to talk, and I don't know, it's just an odd feeling. And then this like beat up van pulls up, and like 2-3 people jump out of the van and then come inside, and we're like, you can't really see them because it's so dark, dude. So we're just like looking at them, like walk inside, and we're like, hey, how's it going? And they don't really want to talk to us, so they just like all sit down and like they're all like looking at us, and it was just a very uncomfortable time. And yeah, there was like these big dogs in there that were like nice, but if you like made the wrong move, you
thought you were
felt
gonna
like
die.
they're gonna like eat you. So that was a very
That would have been freaky. Seeing the dudes from the van walk up.
Oh yeah, exactly. It was very scary, honestly, because you don't know like what's gonna happen, and then like there's like 5 people in there, and it's only 2 of us, and it's like there's no lights on, but like a little candle, and everybody's being quiet, like nobody.
Yeah.
It was just a very like there was no rapport built Like we built rapport, but like nobody really wanted to. Like it felt like they didn't want us to be there.
The vibes were off.
Yeah, the vibes were off.
Yeah, they were
big time.
They were freaky.
Yeah,
That sounds horrible.
yeah, it was bad.
All right. Mine has to do with Ryan too. So this was like, I think it was like, it would have been 2022, like spring of 2022. But there was this guy. It was I don't remember where the lead came through from, but the guy was basically like definitely he was on drugs like bad, and. I had an appointment set with him, like to go out there and look at it, and then like as I was getting ready to leave, because buddy, like just have Ryan go with you, like just to be safe, like just have Ryan go with you just to be safe. And I was like, all right. And I think it was just like at that point, it might have just been me, Ryan, Dakota, you, and then
Maybe Connor.
That might have been it, I think. But so we go out there and we get out, and he comes out and we start talking to him, and he's like showing us around the property, and he's like, you can't like and I couldn't have a face-to-face conversation with him. Like he wouldn't look us in the eyes, he wouldn't talk, he's just like blabbing and like just walking around in circles, like all this other stuff. So we walk in like the house and everything like that, and we're like looking at it real quick, and we're like, hey, does this one have a basement? And he's just like, yeah, but you're not going down there. Like you're not going in the basement.
Yeah.
Oh,
And we were just like, all right, like we kind of need to see the basement. It's like the biggest part, and the foundation like felt a little bit weird just from like walking around. He won't let us go down there, so right away we're just like,
That's a red flag.
yeah, there's crap down there. And so we get outside, and like I'm like trying to literally like just agree on a price with him. Like he's just not talking, and like we were in the range and everything, whatever. And he's just like, nah, F you guys. Like I have other people that are gonna buy it. Like you guys aren't gonna give me this. You aren't gonna like. He just kept like blabbing. I'm not lying to you, bro. Like Ryan, like we started getting like a little bit confrontational a little bit. He swung on us. Like,
Oh my
yeah,
gosh,
I've told this
bro.
story like so many
I've never
times.
heard this one.
But he swung on us, like literally swings on us, and we're like going back to our car. Like it like started getting like he was like it was getting like heated, and like I'm like
Yeah.
starting to like kind of like get my phone out just in case.
Yeah.
And we got to my car. I'm like, let me run these numbers. Like, what amount can we get? Like can we move forward at? And like, I'm starting to like be a little bit more stern with my words and how I'm talking to him. And long story short, like the guy's like outside on his porch, like after we get out of our car to like go give him the contract, and he's like, I'm not even gonna do it. Like, I don't even need to. No. And we're just like, we don't need to either. But like, you reached out and called us out here. So like, do you want? And Ryan's like, do you want us to help or not? Like, we're just here to help. Do you want us to help or not? Like, it doesn't make any difference for us, but, like, you called us, you wanted this, like, what are we doing here? And he's on drugs, clearly, so it's like he's making 0 sense.
Yeah.
So, long story short, write up a contract and everything like that. He sent us back thing. I give it to him in his hand. I said, here's what we're due. We're ready to move forward. If you don't have it signed by noon, then, like, we don't even want to buy it anymore. And
dang.
and like right at like 11:55, 11:57, he sends me a picture of the signed agreement.
Dang.
And
Okay.
then we got under contract, and then he went. We closed on it and like sold it and everything. But dude, he made a scene at the title company. I mean, a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
But like at that time, I was like 18. I was just a lot younger, so
Freaked out.
I'm like freaking out because I've never like really been in like a fist fight or anything like that. Or
He
something. So I'm, like,
legitimately swung on
yeah,
you
like he
guys.
literally
Wow.
like swung on us. Ryan was more like the one that was like, all right, like kind of
Yeah.
like the guy that's like, all right, like he's gonna handle everything,
Yeah.
and I would have hopped in and helped after Ryan got him taken care of. But yeah, that was a funny.
That's funny.
moment.
You still locked down
Yeah,
the deal
just
too.
how
after.
it all happened, but just like how bad it was going, and just like literally how like normally people like that they just won't sign it. They'll never get like it wasn't. So just how it all happened, and how bad it was just
Yeah.
up front. So shocking.
That's hilarious. That actually, I'll say one last quick story. It's pretty similar to that. That's hilarious, by the way. The fact that you still got the deal.
That's
Then he goes to the talk and we're freaking out. We're like, oh my gosh, like he's causing a scene there. Like this is not good.
This guy.
Yeah.
Hey, locked it up
Yeah,
though.
but we got it closed, so that was a win.
Yeah, there was a house, like, we needed to get pictures of it and, like, change doorknobs, the
Yeah.
whole situation. I go there, I'm trying to break in, because this happens a lot. Like, they don't give us the keys, so I got to break in.
Yeah.
And then when I'm doing it, this truck pulls up, and this guy gets out. He's yelling at me. He's like, you mother effer, what are you doing at my property? He comes up. He literally is, like, this close from my face. He gets in my face, and I'm like,
Dude.
I don't know, maybe I was like calm enough. I was like, hey man, just doing my job. But he was like, dude, and he had a gun here too. So I was
Oh,
like,
gosh.
bro, I might die.
Dang.
And then, long story short, he was like, I explained it all to him. I had Ryan again. I called him. I was like, Ryan, you got to explain to this guy. I'm about to die, man. Like, please tell him that this is part of the process. And then it all worked out. But
yeah, I actually have one more. I got one more actually. I can think of. Well, there's a bunch too that JJ's. I'm sure he has been.
Yeah,
into, but
there's
there's tons that are vacant that I've just been
Yeah.
in, and I'm freaking scared as crap because I'm like, dude, I don't know if somebody's in the basement like right now. I don't know if somebody broke in. Like, I don't really know. Those ones are very scary for me. There was one I was out in Columbia City one time. I was out in the country, and like, dude, it literally reminded me of, like, Conjuring and everything. Like, it was one of those houses. I'm like walking around, like, all the bushes and like weeds and everything are like high up, and like I have to walk back in like this like long driveway. And dude, it was so scary because you just start hearing like creeps and bumps and stuff. And like, dude, I literally thought somebody was in the house.
Dude, well, yeah, especially we've had squatters at our places before. So
dude, you never know. Like every single time I normally go in there with my gun, I'm just like, all right, just in case. It is scary, especially if there's no utilities and stuff.
Yeah.
You got to use your phone flashlight.
Yeah.
That sucks.
I'll say one last thing.
Yeah,
Already
go
over
ahead.
time, but so me and Miles actually, it was me and Miles. We went on an appointment, and we went to this lady's house. It was like an hour away or something like that, and we went into the basement. And like it was so clear as day, like what she had going. She had like an entire grow operation down there, and then and I'm like, dang, like she just wasn't hiding this at all. And then like she starts like saying like it's like some other thing, like she was just like testing out different like colors and like lights and stuff.
It's just grass.
I'm like, this is clearly plain as day. Like we know what's going on here. Why are you trying to? So that was kind of funny.
That is funny. Yeah, so that's hilarious. But I guess moral of the story is bring something with you if you're going to go to...
No, for sure.
Yeah, like pepper spray, taser, dude, bring something.
And always like call out when you get in there because like I'm always, if I'm walking to a vacant house or something, I think anybody, there's a chance somebody's in there, I'm saying something.
Yeah.
Hey, anybody here?
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you never know what's going to happen with stuff like that, too. So, like, there's been times I'm out, too, like, going to, like, go walk properties or whatever, and even just people walking on the streets and stuff, too, when you're going to tell them, like, bro, like, you don't know what can happen.
No, you really don't. Yeah, so I guess be prepared for the worst to happen, for sure.
Sometimes I like to keep the door open, too. Just in case, because and there's like pros and cons of both, but I like to keep it open because if I have to like run out of there, I'm not like stopping at the door trying to open it or something.
Trying to unlock it.
Yeah.
That's funny. All right, well, that was the first LTD podcast.
That's freaking
Thanks for being on, boys. I'm sure we'll have you on again.
Yes, sir. That was fun.
Yeah, we'll be dropping another one soon. So
yeah.
Sure. Yeah,
drop
that was
some
a lot of fun.
Yeah, drop some comments on like questions that you have too. Like if anything you guys want to know about or like POVs, anything, just let us know.
Yeah, this is sort of like a trial run. So if you guys want Andrew and JJ on every one, and we'll just have a fourth person, just drop them in the comments. So
yeah, let us know. Yeah, let us know. Like for these LTD podcasts and stuff that we're doing, like we want to know from you guys what you want to hear, what you want to learn about real estate, like any questions, no matter what it's tailored to, real estate, like whatever. We want to be interactive with you guys. Mm-hmm. That way we can actually start bringing you more of what you guys are looking for and what you want to see from us. For people that are already watching or subscribe to us, or people that just know us from being local or social media, or that are wanting to know more about who we are and what we do. So yeah, drop comments and stuff, give the podcast a follow, and shout out Christian for getting all this set up and us starting to do this. So we're going to be posting a lot more on social media as a company, as individuals, and everything like that, and just giving you guys as much content as possible.
Absolutely. Yeah, we want to make real estate just easier for everyone. So drop comments. We're going to have a Q&A podcast in the future. So drop the comments right now on this video. Ask us the questions you need. And we'll see you guys next time.
Yep, and then as well, follow us on our Instagrams, and if you want to connect with us.